My name is Joyce, sometimes known as Gigi for great grandma. I write. I write poetry, I write children's stories, and a couple of books. But I would like to share with you one of my children's stories. It's called The Spangler. Far, far away in a damp, dark cave, there lived a Spangler. A what, you say? A Spangler. He spent almost all of his life in this cave. You see, he was very big, even for a Spangler. In fact, he was so big, he could touch the treetops. Yes, he was very big indeed. As you can imagine, if anyone saw him, they would be very frightened. Indeed, yes indeed. He often wished he had someone to talk to play with, to even just spend time with. But he knew that if he were to leave this cave, he would have many problems to deal with. So every day was just like the day before. He would wander through the caves all alone, wishing things were different, but he knew deep down inside that he'd always be alone. One day, as he sat drawing pictures on the cave walls, he heard some strange sounds. There is no one here but me. What could it be? What could be making these sounds? The Spangler listened closely. The sounds were echoing throughout the rocks. The Spangler's name, by the way, was Rocky. He called himself that because of his love of rocks. Well, I suppose I should investigate, said Rocky. I would like to know who this is. He began walking slowly through the cave. He said, I think I know where the sound is. I remember when I was young seeing a hole in the top of one of the caves. Do you suppose that someone found a way to actually get down into the caves? Surely not. That would be very unwise. You could get stuck or maybe even hurt. I had better go and check things out. I would never want anyone to get hurt. Off Rocky went. The only thing on his mind was locating the sound he had heard. After some searching, Rocky saw them. This was the sound he had heard. Two young boys had crawled through the hole and were now in the cave. Whatever should I do, he thought. They don't know that I live in this cave. He knew he couldn't hide. He was way too big, and there was no place he could go. Rocky decided he would stay quiet. With any luck, maybe they would just go. The boys lived not far from the caves, but had never ventured close to it. Their parents had warned them over and over again to stay away from it. One boy, whose name was Scotty, seemed to be the most concerned. The other boy, James, was acting real cool, pretending he was not concerned. The boys, as they entered the cave, found themselves whispering to one another. This is silly. We are whispering and there's no one here. They looked at one another. Listen up, did you hear something? Then both boys suddenly became very still. This place is supposed to be a bunch of old abandoned caves. Again, they became still. Maybe it's haunted, said Scotty. I'll just bet you my almost brand new skateboard it is. Don't be a fraidy cat, Scotty, said James. It's just a cave. A cave is simply what it is. It's awfully cold and damp in here, James. Don't ghosts like it in this kind of temperature? I know I'm right. Maybe ghosts would like it here, but I sure don't like this temperature. As he listened, Rocky realized how frightened the boys would be when they saw him. I can't hide. I'm too big to hide. He wondered what the boys would think when they saw him. For a few moments, he thought about his problem, which of course was the boys. He didn't know much about these things, but he did know that these were young boys. Rocky heard another sound. The boys were coming closer. They were almost here. He decided to call out a warning. Then they would know that someone was here. Hello, hello, he called out. Don't be afraid, but I don't think you are very safe in here. When they saw him, they screamed and started to run. They wanted out of here. Rocky said, wait, don't run. I may be big, but I'm really nice and I won't hurt you. He asked how they managed to get in here. Show me, and I will see how I can help you. The boys had calmed down by now. They had a feeling this giant was okay. Come with us, and we'll show you the hole we climbed down to get in here, okay? Scotty and James had forgotten their manners after their first meeting with Rocky. They both said, "Thank you so much. It has been kind of nice meeting you, Rocky." The boys then headed to the place where they had come through the hole. Of course, Rocky had no problem. He just lifted them right up through the hole. Although they were happy to leave, the boys now felt as if they were all friends. They told Rocky how they felt and asked him if he wanted them to be his friends. Rocky smiled so wide you could see all 50 of his great big teeth. He was so happy. "Yes, I most certainly want to be your friend. This day you have made me very happy."